there are some Pokemon that are so close to being good, but I feel like Game Freak just missed the mark. Yo, what's up guys? You got pokeaim here. Today we're going to be talking about Pokemon that could be good, or are at least good, but could be even better, could be stronger, could be broken, to be honest, if they had just a little bit more. Now, this is actually a suggestion that you guys left for me, so big shout out to, I believe it was, Core Hopper for this question. I asked the other day for what I could talk about, and I kind of wanted a chill topic for this week just because I'm busy camping. I mean, this is not a green screen and I'm not in the woods right now, but I'll be camping this weekend, so I just wanted to be able to do a few videos so that way I could just, get them out there. So if you guys do enjoy these types of videos, obviously let me know, leave a like, subscribe, and without further ado, let us go ahead and talk about Pokemon that are, that need buffs. Now I know the first Pokemon you see right there is Dragapult, and your first impression is like, my god, this guy is stupid. Listen, it's just certain things that these Pokemon are missing that would make them even better, and I'm not saying Dragapult ain't good. This is a top 10 Pokemon in this generation, easily, and this is from a 6v6 perspective. However, that's the last time I'm playing with my hair today. That's the last time I'm playing with my hair today. But there are just some Pokemon that are missing like one or two things that can make them so much better. Now, Dragapult, obviously, it's a really fast Pokemon, has incredible attack, and has Dragon Dance. So that's really good for Dragapult because it gives it an opportunity to actually sweep. And everybody already knows what I'm about to say, but Dragon Dance boosts your speed, boosts your attack. Dragon Darts, incredible because not only is it a multi-hit move and it takes full advantage of Clear Body, and I mentioned Clear Body because it blocks Intimidate from Pokemon like Landers and stuff, so being a physical attack is also really nice. It's stronger than Dragon Claw while not locking you into a move like Outrage, and I mean, I don't know if you get Dragon Rush, but that move sucks. So you do get Dragon Rush, yeah, but nobody's trying to miss, It's basically this thing's power for 100% accuracy. So it's really nice. However, they were a little bit cheap with the rest of Dragapult. Now, when we got the Poltergeist coming out, I got really excited because the Pokemon that I wanted to get it the most were Dragapult and Mimikyu. And if you type right here and you try and type Poltergeist on Dragapult, unfortunately that is illegal. Now, this really sucks because you're basically forced to use Phantom Force, and no pun intended. This move kind of sucks as well because it's a two-turn type of move. It's okay on Substitute Dragon Dance with like not even Clear Body, but maybe like a Curse Body set. But it sucks because it's not only is it a two-turn attack that my opponent can switch out on, but also it's only 90 base power, right? So if it actually had Poltergeist, it would be so crazy. This Pokemon, it would definitely be banned, right? Phantom Force is fine when you're in a Dynamax metagame. This is a 66 singles. So this thing would be incredible with a Poltergeist, but also I think that the scariest set wouldn't even be Dragon Dance, right? It would just be Choice Band. It would literally be Choice Band because Choice Band, Poltergeist, Ghost is such great stab, and then you have Dragon Darts as well, and you have U-Turn, and your last move can be whatever you want. You could run, honestly, you don't have to run anything. Choice Band Poltergeist will 2-hit KO Corviknight, will 2-hit KO Toxapex, will 2-hit KO Ferrothorn. And then you have Dragon Darts for everything that takes that. 2-hit KO's defensive Tapu Fini. So those are the sub-mountains that Dragapult could do, but or break through. But it didn't end up getting Poltergeist, unfortunately. So that kind of leads up the rest of the video, right? So it's Pokemon that are okay, or at least some of them are okay, some of them are not. And they could just be a little bit better if they just had something special. So I think that Choice Band would just be insane on Dragapult, and same thing with Dragon Dance, to the point where it would be banned for sure. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure they didn't give it Poltergeist on purpose, right? Because I think it'd be overpowered as well, even in VGC aspect. Maybe before all we got the Legends and stuff like that, like maybe early VGC and Battle Stadium 3v3 as well. Now we have Galarian Moltres. I absolutely love this Pokemon. I love the fact that it is dark and flying, and I mean, you already know what move I'm thinking of for this Pokemon as well as the other bird, and that's Roost. Unfortunately, while this Pokemon has an incredible ability in Berserk, the benefits of the heavy-duty boots, so it doesn't have to take Stealth Rock, and it even has great setup. It has a really good move in Fiery Wrath, and as well as Hurricane or Air Slash, depending on what you're doing. So what is it missing here? What is it missing on a bird that can set up? Roost. if it had that longevity, you could even run, and I've ran like Spadef, Rest Talk type of sets, but you could even run like this and literally be a Dragapult counter while also having that recovery, while still even being able to boost through. So it missing out on that really sucks, because Dark is a really good defensive typing. And you might be thinking, well, what do you mean it's good defensive typing? It's weak to Fairy, which there are a lot of. I agree, there are a lot of Fairies, but I mean, with that 125 special defense and that base 90 HP, this Mom will be beating Fairies 1v1, besides like Tapu Koko, which resist all of its moves. But it's a little bit unfortunate, because even this thing could set up on the likes of Heatran's Magma Storm and get your Berserk activated and a whole lot of other things, like while they're attacking you. And oh no, I fixed my hair. I was trying not to fix my hair the entire time. Someone said I was progressing in these and doing better by not touching my hair. But it really does suck, because I think it would give it so much more defensive utility, and even not even just special defensive, but even physically defensive or mix could be really cool too. Just being able to take hits from Rillaboom, because you naturally resist Grassy Glide as well as Knockoff. Obviously, Superpower do a decent chunk because it is neutral, but I think it really did miss out on the fact that it has Roost. And Galarian Zapdos is the exact same way. So I kind of see Galarian Zapdos as the better Staraptor. All right, it's a better Staraptor. And the reason I say that, and I have nothing against Staraptor. Staraptor's a fantastic Pokemon, but my guy doesn't have to kill itself to damage Pokemon, right? It can 2-hit KO and 2-shot Pokemon. Staraptor can OHKO Pokemon, but it has to die in the process. Galarian Zapdos can do the exact same thing with stab, close combat, and even with the combination of Defiant, it's 2-hit KOing resistances as long as its attack is boosted. And this Pokemon obviously has Lucha's typing, has great base 100 speed, which is incredible in the OU tier, right? Because you're faster than Urshifu, you're faster than Kyurem, you're faster than Hydreigon, right? And you speed type with Volcarona. So those are all like very, very, very solid speed tiers to either hit or be faster than. And obviously Choice Band is really good, but something we could see even more would be a bulk up Roost set. And unfortunately, without the Roost, it just doesn't have that longevity. Like it's a damn shame too, because this Pokemon has a pretty average, nice, maybe slightly above average stats, right? Base 90 all around is nice. It's decent when your stats hit over 200 without anything. So being able to sub and set up in front of others, or even just bulk up Roost in general, offensive, without having to die, and like even taking on something like Stall, for instance, as well, because like this thing naturally lives a Moonblast from Clefable. And you can even run like Drill Peck if you don't want to run Brave Bird for the boosting itself. So I think that if this Pokemon obviously got Roost, it would probably rise more Kokos as well as Zapdos is in the tier itself. But it would just also be just incredible, because I mean, you're setting up in front of Brave Bird Corviknight with bulk up Roost, right? You don't have to care about that. Now Regieleki came in a generation one too late, right? There's no hidden power. There's no hidden power in this generation. Now I'm not just gonna say let's give it hidden power ice. This Mom would be broken. It would be straight up broken with Hidden Power Ice, right? Because you're just giving it its ability to deal with both Landorus and Garchomp, right? Obviously, it couldn't deal with Hippo, but you know, something had Toxic, and obviously, it also coming from the generation where there's no Toxic for certain Pokemon, right? So Regieleki not being able to get that, and the thing that Regieleki is known for is obviously just spamming the electric attacks, but there are a few things you can run on it otherwise to deal with other Pokemon. Hyper Beam is something that sometimes Regieleki runs to do a little bit of chip on ground types or otherwise Pokemon that would take the electric type attacks. But Hyper Beam sucks because you have to waste a turn and Regieleki will die. So standard Regieleki would be Rapid Spin, Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, and you might see Swift on it, right? Because Swift or Ancient Power are the only two attacks it has. But you want to run Swift over Ancient Power because Swift actually lets you hit the ground types for neutral, whereas Ancient Power would be resisted. I think Swift is only slightly closer to what we need. I'm talking like Hyper Voice I think would be enough for this Pokemon. I just want to show you just some damage calcs on Swift versus Hyper Voice on basically, and you can run Modest on Regieleki as well. You know what? Let's just go Choice Specs. Let's just go Choice Specs, right? So here is Landorus TOU defensive max HP. As you can see, Swift is doing 28 to 33%. That is absolutely pathetic. There's a 0.1% chance of 3-hit KO with that. Swift just absolutely sucks. However, Hyper Voice, and I think this is something that you can give to this Pokemon without making it overly broken, it is doing 42 to 50%. So it is still prediction reliant to use Regieleki, but the damage difference is so big. And it actually lets it do some damage without sacking itself to Hyper Beam. And obviously, you'd be like, oh, wait, but no, then if Landorus dies, then Regieleki is going to sweep. No, I mean, look, it still takes the stuff the same from that the other one took from Swift if you're Spadef landers, which people do run Spadef landers. And even then, it's just, if it's doing that much, you know, it's locked in. Landers gets leftovers, you can switch out, you can get Switch Initiative, even Corviknight and Toxapex, and a whole bunch of other people can wall, right? It'd just be cool to be able to give Regieleki this attack without making it overly broken, right? Some people are like, oh, let's give it Ice Beam. What? Do you not want to use Regieleki anymore in the OU tier or whatever tier? Is that it? Because that's what's going to happen if it had Ice Beam. Now, next up we have Zarude. So there's a few things they could have done for this Pokemon that would have made it a little bit better. First off, what the hell is Leaf Guard? Why do we have Leaf Guard when your signature move does the exact same thing? Leaf Guard means you can't be status in Sun. Jungle Healing not only heals your health, which is 1/4, which I think is actually fair. For this Pokemon, I think 50% plus healing status would be broken. It's like when I'm playing in the in-game and I'm like, you know, healing up with full restores and I feel real good that I'm beating the Elite Four, but I'm using full restores in between turns. Jungle Healing already does that, so get the hell out with the ability Leaf Guard and give it Tough Claws, right? Tough Claws is enough. You don't even have to give it Tough Claws. If you don't want to get, first off, it has claws, right? It has claws. But you don't have to give it Tough Claws. Right? Just give it an ability that isn't useless. Now, we've had plenty of Pokemon that had useless abilities that were still good. Passimian, before it got Defiant, had Receiver, useless. Zygarde has Aura Break, absolutely useless in OU. But it was something that it could use. But like I said, it was absolutely useless. And the fact that Zygarde was good was because of 1,000 Arrows. Right? And then we have Pokemon that are, you know, have bad abilities that obviously hinder them, like the Regigigas, Gillespot, though Gillespot is debatable if Emergency Exit is bad or not. And then obviously you have Archeops. But, also just please leave a topic for other stuff you guys want me to see me talk about next week. And one more thing, like, Tough Claws is the ability I'm going for, but I'm trying to think of like other abilities I like. I don't think I want regen on this thing. I just think Tough Claws just makes a lot of sense, like just the way it fights as well and everything. So, and the other option, the other thing I would like on it is Knockoff as well. Now, Jungle Healing Bulk Up, Power Whip, and Dark Slayer. Dark Slayer is not bad, right? Like this thing is beating Bulk Up Corviknight and Iron Defense Corviknight if it's bulked up enough, right? The Iron Defense Corviknight won't beat it if it's bulked up enough because it's just base 105 HP, 105 defense, so it's really bulky. So Dark Slayer allows it to beat with that, but like Knockoff would be so much better on the Choice Band sets because then you could just run Knockoff, U-Turn, Close Combat, Power Whip, right? Like something like that, and that'd be incredible, right? You get that out of it. Dark Slayer is better on, I think, bulk up sets personally, but debatable as well just because of how strong it would be. And obviously you give this thing Tough Claws with Choice Band, be a monster. So Zarude, definitely. And like I said, my code AIM is 30% off for G Fuel. G Fuel is a caffeinated energy drink, so be aware what you're drinking. They do have, so 18 plus, they do have this caffeine free line that I personally like, which is the hydration line. Also, they just dropped some new flavors and I'm waiting for mine to come in. So hopefully they come in before I go camping because I want to try them. So if you guys want to try them out, obviously use code AIM. You're supporting me and it tastes pretty good. At least the flavors I have, like strawberry lemonade, I like that, and dragon fruit and whatnot. So again, the link is down below, but it's caffeinated energy drink, so be aware of what you're drinking. Poltergeist, not a lot that I would do for this, but it's a teacup, it's a teacup, excuse me. And what do teacups do, or what is their function? What are you doing with a pot of tea? You are pouring hot water into tea. Or rather, what is it? It holds hot water and you pour. It depends. You can put the tea in there or you can put it in your cup. But you're usually pouring hot water. What move is pouring hot water? That's right, Knockoff. Scald. So yeah, Scald. Poltergeist, I think, should get Scald. I think it just makes sense thematically for the Pokemon itself. I also think it'd be better for it too. Now, will that make it 100% better versus Dark types? No. Certain dark types, doesn't matter. It has Giga Drain for Tyranitar. Still not going to beat Tyranitar 1v1 as long as Tyranitar's healthy, right? Store Power, Shadow Ball, resisted. Giga Drain, it's not going to, even at +2, it's not going to kill Tyranitar on their sand, period. Scald, I think the thing with Scald that could be really cool would be the Cursed Body Shrem Sap. Like a Shrem Sap type of thing. Like you can use Shell Smash, Shrem Sap, Shadow Ball, and Scald. And Scald would help you, like, obviously, I mean, you don't have to do this, but Scald would be really cool because not only is it giving you the ability to burn, so you could even use a Specs Poltergeist a little bit more, or just not actually set up, but just click Scalds initially. It still wouldn't help it beat certain dark types. Umbreon would still beat it 1v1. Depending on if you got Cursed Body, though, because if you got Cursed Body and it's burnt, then Foul Play isn't breaking, you can actually Shell Smash out multiple times. But if it's Toxic, then it doesn't matter, right? Obstagoon doesn't care because it'll still live and doesn't care about being burnt. And then on Zarude as well, depending on the tier you're playing, it's still Darkest Lariat and Smash it. But I still think Skull just makes a ton of sense. I think Duraludon should have a Fire move, period. This Pokemon is this close. It is this close to being really good. And I know, like, its tier, which is PUBL, was like, dude, what the hell are you talking about? This mon sucks. No. Okay? Okay, yes. But, no. Right? It doesn't suck. Steel and Dragon is incredible offensive typing. Right? It is incredible offensive typing. And there is quite a few Pokemon that actually wall that. Steel types is the big one, right? But obviously, Corviknight can get Thundered or Thunderbolted, which is something that this Pokemon can run. Also... Ferrothorn can get Body Press, same thing with Heatran, that's whatever. I just think that if it had Flamethrower, which I think it should get, because I mean, Dialga gets Flamethrower. Why the hell does Dialga get Flamethrower? It's a Steel Dragon. So, or Fire Blast or whatever, those are my other Pokemon. Dialga does get Fire Blast, right? Guess I've hella used Specs Dialga with Fire Blast, what am I even saying? Why shouldn't Duraludon get it? It's a Steel Dragon, the damn toilet seats, and sometimes them boys be on fire, man. I don't know, actually you have like a long day and everything, right? You know, maybe you come home from Thanksgiving or whatever, that toilet seat be on fire, and this dude is a toilet seat. It's literally a toilet seat. So, let me run Specs with Draco Meteor, Flash Cannon. This is what I really like about, you know, this dual typing, like you're not walled by fairies because you get the Flash Cannon or Steel Beam. And then you'd have Flamethrower. This is Flamethrower, right? You don't gotta give Fire Blast, give Flamethrower, you can give it Overheat too. And this is all, by the way, Gen 8 Mons, obviously, right? There's a lot of Pokemon that I want to have buffs, but... And then Thunderbolt, or Thunder. Thunder could be cool for anti-rain. So this would be really sick on the Choice Spec set. And obviously, you'd still be walled by, like, Heatran, so it wouldn't be overly broken, but it'd just be incredibly strong. And obviously, it's Spadef stat and Speed tier, what does Rift do, but I feel like it should just have Flamethrower. I really do. And give me your guys' thoughts on this. So, Centiskorch. I was really excited when we had leaks for this Pokemon. I think Fire and Bug is cool offensive typing. I love Fire Bug. Look at Volcarona. Incredible. And I thought it would have I thought it'd be almost like a Scolipede. So I was really hoping it had Speed Boost. I think Speed Boost would be too much for it, though, just because of its stats and its offensive stats and the addition of Heavy Duty Boots. Speed Boost might be a little bit too much because imagine this thing coiling with Speed Boost. However, there's two buffs that I think this Pokemon should get. One, this thing is a Kyurem check, right? Resist Focus Blast, resist Ice Beam, resist Freeze Dry. Decent special defense, good HP. Doesn't take Stealth Rock damage. However, what is this Pokemon missing that a lot of Pokemon have, like it? And that, my friends, is unfortunately Morning Sun. And that's Recovery, rather. So, we're going to add Morning Sun right here. And we're just going to look at the Pokemon that have Morning Sun. The Bug type, Scizor. The Fire Bug, Volcarona. The Fire type, Moltres. Right? The Fire type, Arcanine. The Fire type, Rapidash. The Bug type, Butterfree. Huh. Who fits the criteria of Bug and Fire? Centiskorch. Centiskorch. Right there. So I think that it should have Morning Sun for at least Recovery. I think that'd be really cool because it could be nice on the coil sets, giving it longevity as well, not needing the Rest Talk. And the other buff I do is just make Centiskorch slightly faster. I think that 251 is not enough. I would actually make it... I don't want to make it too brokenly faster, but I would make it at least base 80, I feel. I think that base 80 is a good jump point. You're faster than Heatran, which I think is really nice for a mon that can take it on repeatedly. But also, you were guaranteed faster than Magearna during its time as well. I just really like that speed turn. I feel like that's a good jump point for a Pokemon that has a lot of defensive potential despite being Fire Bug. And also incredible it's really potent in its offensive stats because Fire Lash and Power Whip and Leech Life as well. It does have Leech Life for recovery, but I do think it makes a difference. I think the big thing that would be holding it back would be that speed. That's it. Base 65 is just way too slow. Sure, if you want to, make it base 100, but base 100 might be actually too much for Centiskorch just because a Volcarona counter or check that is faster than Urshifu is like 2 Volcaronas, bro. It's the physical Volcarona versus a special one. Cramorant. Now, Cramorant was unfortunately out in a generation when we don't have Toxic as a TM. And I guess Corviknight also goes with this, because imagine Toxic on Corviknight. Oh my god, that'd be so annoying. Cramorant is a Pokemon that really unique, right? Because Gulp Missile is such a cool ability. If you guys don't know how Gulp Missile works, basically when you get hit after it uses Surf, where you hit it with a physical, when you hit it after it uses Surf or Dive. It's really right in front of me, and I'm just refusing to read it. You take 1/4 of your max HP, and so 25%, and you get either -1 defense if the Cramorant was above 50% and it gets the Arrokuda, or you get paralyzed if it was below 50% during this process, and it has the Pikachu in its mouth. So really cool, very, very cool. And I think that the Roost Endure Surf Gulp Missile set, which I think is really, or even just like the Sub Roost set, could be so good if it had the ability to go for Toxic, right? Because Toxic would obviously allow it to beat Bulky Waters 1v1, while also just doing a devastating amount of chip to so many Pokemon. This Pokemon could be so much more of a nuisance, right? If it had access to Toxic. So it's just unfortunate that it came out in this generation where there's no way to give it Toxic. Frosmoth had so much potential, man. Like, you were supposed... Frosmoth is the equivalent to what Captain Marvel was supposed to be for Marvel, but then she completely bombed because they were setting her up to be the new Iron Man, and by that I mean people respect her and lead her and all that, whatever they were doing, right? Because obviously we're in the new phase of Marvel and everything, and that just completely bombed. A lot of reasons that we're not going to get into that, but Frosmoth, you were supposed to be the new Volcarona. You had a great ability. You're taking these have from special attacks, right? Ice Scales. You have access to Quiver Dance. You're Ice type, an incredible offensive typing. Bug plus Ice is actually pretty good too because it's only walled by one type of Pokemon. Well, it's walled by Steel. But it's basically, well, no, there's Fire as well. But I'm talking about like that will really take nothing because Fire types can still take a good chunk of. There's not too many Fire types as well besides Heatran, but that's also Steel too. But yeah, so ignore what I said about that. But basically, I was just leaning towards that Steel types to be able to deal with it, and then you even have options for Steel types. And obviously, you know, just like Volcarona, we're not going to expect you to have Earth Power or some. Volcarona should have Scorching Sands. It's literally you get it in it's a sand like bug. It literally is. But you have options like Giga Drain, Hurricane, and of course Weather Ball. Under Rain is always really cool too for smacking Heatran. But my friends, why did you not get Roost? I don't care that you're slow. It's okay that you're slow because you're bulky and your whole thing is that you can set up on special attackers, which is great. But that doesn't matter when you're taking like 3 different hits in order to be faster than that Pokemon with your base 65 speed. Like, what the hell, man? You are way too slow. Give it base 80 as well. Give it base 80 speed and give it Roost. To be honest, it doesn't even need base 80 speed. It doesn't need base 80 speed, but because it's slow, it doesn't, and because it doesn't like have recovery outside of Giga Drain, it's just not able to do what it could do. Like, the Heavy Duty Boots was a big blessing for this Pokemon in itself. Did I show I didn't show Greedent. But the Heavy Duty Boots was a pretty big blessing for this Pokemon, but it not having Roost, it not having that longevity, like, it doesn't matter. Look how Volcarona is played. Right? Look how Volcarona is played now that it has Heavy Duty Boots. You can use it defensively. And that's something you can do with Frosmoth too if it had access to Roost. It has the Heavy Duty Boots, so it doesn't have to care about and who cares about the speed boost? It doesn't have to care about taking Stealth Rock, but it is not able to recover. And that's like so dumb. So give it Roost. Rapidash. I feel like Pastel Veil this Pokemon and its allies cannot be poisoned on switching, cures poison allies. I feel like this should have been so much more, right? You're a physical, you're a Psychic Fairy, right? What's another Psychic Fairy we have? Freaking Tapu Lele, and that mon is fire. We have more Psychic Fairies as well. We have Mr. Mime too. But this mon is really cool. But you're the physical version of it. You have Swords Dance. That's freaking awesome. They gave you Play Rough. That's so cool. You have high horsepower as well and Drill Run. You have high horsepower and Drill Run, and of course you can have your crappy physical thing because they didn't give you Psychic Fangs, whatever. All right, you got Psycho Cut, I hate Zen Headbutt as a stab. I hate Psycho Cut. I think they both suck. Zen Headbutt, I think it's literally only good on Mega Metacham, and that's because I have to use it in order to touch Toxapex. Otherwise, I wish everything could have Psychic Fangs. But this ability, they could just slightly buff it. I think it should give it the immunity to poison. Perfect. Like not only not being able to be toxic, but being able to just be immune, just straight up to poison. So it has a poison immunity. So This would obviously differentiate it, like, from why the hell would I use this thing physical or whatever when I can use a Tapu Lele and actually click my moves and do things, right? So I feel like it would just give Rapidash not that cool little buff to not be hit by poison type attacks, period. Now, this isn't like the biggest thing for this Pokemon in itself. Like, it's not going to actually magically make it better. But I do think it should have something to make it even more different than just Swords Dance when it comes to a physical Psychic Fairy. Oh no, I did it again. But when it comes to a physical Psychic Fairy, I really feel like it should have that immunity to poison moves in general. And it's not that poison moves are even like common, right? It's not like they're not even that common, but it would just be so much for this Pokemon. I feel like even draft, it'd be so cool to have this mon. Like, who the hell cares if it's not poisoned by Toxapex if it can run Poison Jab, if it's Draft League, for instance, and just deal with me? So I think it'd be so much for that. Stunfisk. First off, your ability sucks. Alright? I don't like his ability. I don't know how I would change its ability, but I don't like its ability. And I'm not going to make its ability just like Kecleon's or Greninja's. I'm talking about both Color Change and Protean. But I hate its ability. But there's only a few buffs it needs. It's literally a head. Why does it not have Iron Head? Give it Iron Head. Why don't you give it good... its best stat on offense is its attack stat, and its best steel moves are Flash Cannon and Steel Beam. Are you freaking kidding me? What are they doing? Why did they do it? Give it... It's a head! Give it Iron Head! Shoot. Also, this Snap Trap, if they didn't want to give it Iron Head, all they had to do was make Snap Trap Steel type. And it should have been more than 35 for sure. If they made it Steel type, it could either be 50 or 70. And that'd be enough for this Pokemon to have something there. Obviously, there's other stuff it could do. For instance, I would love for it to have Toxic, but that's just something that it can't do because of the generation it was, born or conceived or whatever it exists in. But either give it Iron Head, so it could actually be a Ground Steel type that deals with Fairy types in lower tiers and not just resist them and not beat them 1v1 because it can't Toxic them, or make Snap Trap 50 to 70 base power, Steel, and Physical. That way, not only is it's like a bad Magma Storm from Heatran, but it's not even bad because it's Stab and it's actually doing damage and it cannot miss. It's such a cool thing. Why? Just make it a little... I understand that it's grass because it's supposed to be like hiding in there and it's supposed to be like a bear trap and you're not supposed to be able to see it and you're thinking this, and this, but come on, man. You give it Earthquake, give it that good Steel as well. That way it can actually touch things. Snap Trap would be so cool in this thing too if it was like a good move as well. And there's two others that we have. I don't have it here, but one that was definitely mentioned was Greedent. Greedent should for sure have access to Recycle. So it has the ability Cheek Pouch. So if this Pokemon eats a berry, it restores 1/3 of its maximum HP. So you just run that plus like a Citrus Berry. Or you don't even have to run Citrus Berry, right? So you could run Lychee Berry. So you run the Lychee Berry. You run a Lychee Berry, right? And then you run its Stuffed Cheeks move, which when it eats the berry, it's forced to eat its berry, right? So it stuffs its cheeks. And when it eats the berry, it gets +2 defense. It would get the attack raise from Lychee Berry as well. And it would also get the Cheek Pouch right here too. So it would get all three things going on every single time. However, they decided, let's not give it Recycle. So this is something that is spammable. Now, I don't think even with that, Greedent would be good. Okay, because it's just too slow. It's base 20. But it does have that base 120 HP and really nice defense. And it's a little bit below average special defense, but with the base 120 it actually helps. So I think it would be still bad because you could still wear it down the same way you wear down all things that are slow and not strong at first, and you click Toxic on them. So you can still wear it down, you can still knock it off, and if you knock off an item, they can't recycle it because that's it. It's gone. I already decided which garbage can it's going, and you can't recycle it yourself. It's mine. So, don't make me get started on recycling too. But go ahead and Google how much is actually recycled. Just learn a little something. Go ahead and Google how much is actually recycled. But imagine we had Recycle plus Stuffed Cheeks. This thing could be a little terror in the lower tiers. But no. And I know I typically only go from OU with these videos, but like I said, I wanted one that was a little bit easier and a little bit different. And last but not least, Stonjourner, one of my favorites of this generation. Not going to change anything about its attack stats, not going to change any of this. Base 70 is whatever, I can't complain. Why does Power Spot only help its friends? If you're a Power Spot, if you're a source of power, it's good for you and it's good for people as well. So just change this so it's basically the equivalent of, like, you know, just give yourself a 1.3 times boost as well as your friends. That way this Mon can hit like a truck with a choice band or a life orb, instead of just being so great at supporting its friends in VGC. Give it an ability that can actually work, because like it's good, right? Stone Edge, Earthquake, that's the coverage you need, right? And then you have the Heat Crash as well, and then you could run like Heavy Slam or whatever, because this Mon is heavy. This Mon is like, I mean, this is heavy, bro. It's heavy. So I just think that it could be so much more. And I've used this thing in OU a couple times. It's actually really good just because it's strong, and Heat Crash is like, you know, doing a lot to Ferrothorn and Corviknight and things like that. So it's cool. And I wouldn't change too much about it. I think its stats could stay the same. Yeah, base 20 special attack and special defense. Yeah, it's not supposed to be taking much. But Power Spot should also help itself out while helping its friends out too. That's how I buff it anyway. But that's all I have for you guys today. Like I said, different type of video. Just want to talk about Pokemon that I feel like could use buffs from this generation. Let me know your thoughts on that. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Leave a like. Let me know what topic you guys want to see me talk about next time. And also use code AIM because it's 30% off. Goodbye, my friends.